What would happen if everybody suddenly stopped being wage slaves? Would clean water stop coming out of your tap? Would groceries disappear from supermarkets? Would electricity suddenly vanish? Would you have to make your own clothes because there will be no more clothing stores? All these things have to be made every day by so-called wage slaves. But is that really the case? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. If you've seen some of my videos, you know that I recently shifted my focus to make videos about wage slavery and how to escape it. But actually, this channel goes beyond that. But tell you what, let me talk more about that at the end of this video for those who are actually still interested in knowing what's happening inside my head over the last couple of months. A very common comment that I get on this channel is that wage slavery or escaping wage slavery is just not possible because society would just collapse if nobody worked. And so in today's video, I wanted to cover this topic. I wanted to explain that this is simply not the case. It's really just a matter of a lack of perspective, thinking that way. But I want to go beyond this two-dimensional perspective of the world. First, let me just put your mind at ease. No, society would actually not collapse. But Tom, of course society would collapse if nobody worked. Yes, you are right. But that's not the message in my videos. Let's go over what work actually means. Work is the transaction of value you provide. And the reason people do this is because of that thing called money. That's how they're being compensated for trading their time for their efforts. However, most people just simply don't get properly compensated. Now, I don't mind people working at all, but there should be a better compensation and less actual work. The whole 8-hour workday is obsolete and not very fair. Like, where is the time to self-improve and spend quality time and energy with loved ones? Because I don't know about you, but personally, when I get home from work, and I actually did just come home from work, I have pretty much zero energy to read a book on self-improvement or give my wife the attention that I wish I could give her. My weekends are pretty much about recovering from 40 hours of work. And so you spend the better part of your life trading your time to make companies richer. But let's get to the point. How would society actually function if we ran out of wage slaves? Well, actually, it will run just fine. Yes, the good news is you can still count on having running water and people would still provide it. The bad news is big corporations would be a thing of the past. Now, before you start waving your arms in the air and yelling socialism alert, let me explain. We already have successful solo entrepreneurs doing a lot of work for you. The difference is that they don't have to work 9 to 5 every day for some rude boss. They can control their schedule, they can charge how much they want, and they can pick their customers. Now, obviously, I'm exaggerating this freedom. As I've explained in previous videos, starting a business can be very hard at first. But I see a future where starting a business will be just as easy as creating a profile on LinkedIn or Instagram. If you heard of services like Fiverr or Upwork, you know what I'm talking about. There are plenty of people doing that kind of work, freelancing basically. Because of the internet, we no longer have a paywall between you and learning skills. You can pick up almost any skill out there. You can learn to cook, you can learn to make websites, and yes, you can learn how to fix a leaking tap. You can basically learn to fix problems, and people will gladly pay to get those problems fixed. The second point, however, is that most people, they actually don't want to leave wage slavery. Most people are in favor of the 8-hour workday schedule. They believe in the system. They are a part of that system. Now, I wouldn't say that they are stupid or lazy. It's just that they are comfortable living life that way. They love not having to think about things and having a boss telling them what to do. And I actually totally get that. When I met my wife, we used to argue about the silliest things, like what kind of coffee table to get, and eventually I just realized that I can free up a lot of time and energy by just letting her pick the furniture, because honestly, I just don't care, what color the table or the sofa is. And most wage slaves are like that when it comes to work. They don't want to have to worry about the company and the finances. They're perfectly happy getting a paycheck, and that's okay. But some of us are not okay with that. And furthermore, I believe that escape is actually possible. It is possible for some of us to escape wage slavery if we work on it. I would also like to point out that leaving wage slavery does not mean that we stop providing value to society. In fact, I believe that if I won the lottery, I would actually become quite miserable after 6 months unless I found some kind of purpose where I feel that I provide value of some kind. Some of my methods to create passive income, and I've made a very good video about this, by the way, it involves creating entertainment, advice in the form of courses, videos, articles, and it's not like I create some shady digital products or scam courses. I provide actual value. I use my life experiences to share what I have learned, and people will gladly pay for it. Now, the thing that bothers me is that we are sort of born into this wage slavery without a choice. I mean, let's take a second to think about this. Did you actually have a choice? Well, you signed a contract with your employer. That's true. But think about it. That's only because society revolves around money, and not working means that you would essentially starve. So you have to work to get money in order to have a home and not starve. And I don't think that sounds like freedom. And it actually drives me crazy when people say that we live in a free country, in a democracy, the land of the free and all of that. And at the same time, we're forced to work jobs that we hate. Where are the benefits of technological advancements? I mean, we have computers, we have robots. Why are we still working 8 hours per day, 5 days per week? Isn't Roomba supposed to do the work for us? Did you know that farmers before the Industrial Revolution, they didn't actually work around the clock like we do? They didn't even have alarm clocks. They got up when the sun woke them up. And most of the year, they didn't even have to work the fields. Now, obviously they had other chores, but my point is this concept of the 8-hour workday, it's both new and obsolete at the same time. It was effective if we look at manual labor, but office work? Standing in a store helping customers? No, there's no science to support the 8-hour workday. And more importantly, back in the day, farmers actually got a bigger slice of the cake. Today's wage slave workers, they don't get much for their effort. In fact, I would say that they don't actually trade value for money. They trade time for money. And they don't get compensated for the actual value they provide to the business. No passive income, no royalties, just time. Today, most of the cake goes to the owners of the companies. Now, here's a big problem. Your coworkers, they're part of this system. And what's even worse is that I often meet coworkers that work extra just to help the business out without even anyone asking them to do so. And I've personally seen and replaced workers who get burnt out. I work as a consultant, in case you're new to the channel. It's kind of like the 80-20 rule of life. It's profoundly known that 20% of the population do 80% of the work. And I think you know the type. It's usually Generation X people who will take their jobs super seriously, because in their mind, they still believe this idea that the customer is paying their salary. But this is just another wage slave lie. The company owner gets paid by the customer, and he's paying you a very small percentage to do tasks in order for him to get profit. And most companies are like that. They don't create a business where employees get equally compensated for their work value. If they did, there would be no profit. The part that sort of bugs me about all of this is that these people also expect you to work just like they do. I'm talking about these wage slaves that do, 80% of the work. They expect you to work just as hard. So in a way, some wage slaves, they sort of become guards of the wage slave prison. And that's truly sad. I believe that we could and should do better than that. But actually, it's not my concern here. I don't really care if wage slave society evolves. And maybe this sounds very selfish of me, but I honestly don't care if this problem gets solved in my lifetime. It probably won't, to be completely honest. I mean, even with AI, I predict that wage slaves will just be lured into working longer hours with the illusion that AI is doing most of the work. But none of that actually matters as far as I'm concerned. I focus on how people like you and me are just tired of the wage slave crap and we can actually escape. It's not that I'm lazy. I just don't think my life revolves around work. I work to live, not the other way around. I want my work efforts to actually matter. I want to provide value to people and get properly compensated for it. You know how I know when I'm being properly compensated for my work? It's when I get future returns in my sleep. Yes, I'm talking about passive income. Again, check out the video. Link is in the video description. So, my ideal life is this. I want to wake up when I feel like it, and I want to choose what I want to do that day. I want to have time to enjoy nature, to spend quality time with my family. I want to have the time and energy to learn new things. And then maybe teach others what I have learned. But see, here's the thing. No matter how much I turn and twist this whole wage slave dilemma, I always land on the same conclusion. We only have one life, and we have limited time on this earth. And it's up to each of us to decide how we want to spend that time. Now, for me, it is to escape. Maybe for you, it is okay to waste more of your life and energy on this earth, making it possible for rich people to eat at expensive restaurants. For me, it's not. It's just not. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thank you. Oh, you're still here. Oh yeah, that's right. It's the behind the scenes vlog. Hey there. If you're still around and you recognize the behind the scenes part of my videos, you are truly one OG subscriber. For new viewers, this is something that I used to do when I started this channel. I would make a video about a topic and then I would get into, more personal stuff. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Tom, for the love of God, what is this wage slave nonsense and when will it end? Do your life philosophy videos, do personal vlogs, in the forest like you did back in the day. Okay, so here's what happened. One day, I just started to write down some ideas for these videos about wage slavery. And you have to remember, I go where inspiration takes me. And right now, wage slavery is what I feel passionate about. But to be fair, I don't think that I have too much more left to talk about regarding this topic. I have about 3 or 4 more video ideas in the wage slave playlist. And I do actually want to get back to vlogging in the forest and stuff. Sometimes this perspective of, just sitting in front of a camera, it feels a bit stale. Oh, by the way, we recently hit 9,000 subscribers. Now, to be honest, I don't really feel too impressed with myself when I reach new numbers of subscribers because it's not like I get 9,000 views per video. I actually wonder why most of my subscribers don't just end their subscription if they don't even watch my videos. But I suppose it's because when they log into YouTube, YouTube will recommend them a bunch of videos, and my videos just aren't there, which is fine. This is how YouTube works. It's a business. But I'll tell you what I do appreciate. I do appreciate so much when you hit the like button or when you comment. And a few of you who actually watch my videos, you guys are the ones who truly matter to me, you know? And this is actually something that I wanted to share a thought about. Because I've often imagined a future for myself where I can finally start to live my life in a way where I will be free to do what I want. And until that happens, I can't do that. But I realized that I've been thinking about this the wrong way. You see, you have to start living life now. You can't wait to become financially independent so you can start living your life. Because the truth is, nobody knows how long they have. And so when it comes to my channel, I used to see it as a way to reach a point with enough subscribers and views where I would someday be able to live the life I want and create the content that I want. But in a sense, there is no tomorrow. If I want to live a life where I make the content I want to make, then today is the only day that matters. In short, I'm going to start to make videos I feel passionate about, even if they rub some people the wrong way. I want to provide value for people. That's very important for me. And here's the thing. I can't make other people happy unless I make myself happy first. So, yes, the behind the scenes vlog is back. Have a nice weekend. Bye.